What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out podcast. Another episode for you guys on two brothers giving our thoughts on the pop culture, movie, comic book world, and then giving you our thoughts on real world issues as well. Guys, as always, please check the description. If you don't want to hear about what's happening in our lives, what's happening, our thoughts on real world issues, check the description. I'll put the description there as Geekout News starts now, and you can click on that. It will take you straight to the Geekout News, so you can skip all of this part. But if you want to hear our thoughts, if you want to hear what we've been up to and our thoughts on real world issues, please stay and listen to it. Guys, first of all, I just wanted to quickly just say, much love to everyone who are, subscribers, people who've been viewing the content, appreciate it. We have been shadow banned. We have been censored because of our thoughts on real world issues about Palestine and whatnot. We are only reaching our subscribers. Our subscribers number hasn't dropped, but we're reaching only our subscribers and we're not reaching users outside of a subscriber space. So I just want to share the love to the people who are watching. Appreciate it. Please do show love and like and share and whatnot. We will be shadow banned because we're not going to stop talking about what we believe is right and our thoughts on Palestine and whatnot. But just wanted to share that. Just wanted to share. We'll get into real world issues later on. So again, if you don't want to hear that, you can skip it, go to the Geek Out News. But if you do, we'll talk about it in a bit. But on that note, always joined by Kibbs. How you doing, bro?
Well, good man. It has been such a busy week, bro. I'm mash up. After I got it last night, I was like, oh, how did I do it last year? Luckily, we got Ati on board on the team, but I know it's the fasting month, so I had to go show my face at a couple of events, and well, we got 4 day weekend coming up, but I'm really excited for that. Just to rest and sort some things out around the house. I feel like I've been on the go with work a lot recently, and then looking after the kids a lot as well. So yeah, my days are fully packed, bro, and it's hard to keep up with everything. Trying to get a moment to myself has been very hard, but other than that, all good. Can't complain. Like yesterday's event, like I mean, we'll go through it later on when we talk about movie news. But this morning, man, I had like a really weird moment with Lara where it's multicultural day at school today, so they dress up in, you know, anything that's in your culture, and she got the Bangladeshi flags on her face. I'll send a picture in the group later on. She was really quiet on the walk to school, bro. And she goes, I should have put my school uniform on. And I'm like, why? And she goes, because I'm different. And I'm like, the fact that a 5-year-old feels out of place already because of who she is. And I was like, you should never think like that. You should never, ever think like that. You are amazing. You are beautiful. Don't ever feel like you don't belong here. She was like, I don't look the same as everybody else. And I was like, you're not meant to. Allah created us in different ways. But always show love to others. And she was going to the school, bro, and I could see the worry in her face. She was like, oh, basic, I should have had my school uniform on. And then I
Oh,
was like, look, there's another person. She's wearing a different outfit from her culture, which was like an African outfit. And we saw some, and then she kind of started to feel comfortable, but then she was still like, I'm really shy, Dad. I don't know. And she was like that when she did the Oompa Loompa. Like, she was like, nobody else is going to do this. And I don't want her to be afraid of who she is, and I'm glad that she can express that to me. Like I didn't think a 5-year-old could. I don't even know if I was capable of doing that with my parents, with our parents. It's like, to say that I just feel uncomfortable. I'm not feeling it. But
mm,
just to get that reassurance to say, you know what, this is an experience. You look amazing. You are amazing, and it's that I can't even say the word.
primitive
Yeah, just kind of
reaction.
like,
I don't know.
yeah, just like, just that positive confirmation to say
Reassurance.
your
Yeah, yeah.
reassurance, just to say you're amazing the way you are. It doesn't matter how you look and the rest of it, a 5-year-old is taking that into place, you know what I mean? There's more to it, bro, man. Even like, now she knows more about Palestine and what the kids are going through and what families are going through. And she said, Dad, I'm just sad. That person doesn't have a home no more. And these kids don't have parents no more. I don't know what I would do without you guys. You know what I mean? And it's like hard hitting stuff, man. She's coming to that age. She's understanding more. She's a lot more loving and caring. She really brightens up Nia's day. Like Nia's a bit hyped now, it's because she's having breakfast. But she'll go quiet after, and I get to do some work. But when she sees Alara, oh my God, man, her face lights up. Them two got the best buddy. Yeah, you saw that video in the group when they were all running around at Mum's house. And
Mm.
Alara was like just in awe of all of them. Like, I can't wait to run around with you lot. It was amazing
Yeah.
feeling. She was like, she's really giggly. I'm glad that we have some really cool babies in the house, bro. MashaAllah.
Yeah, yeah. Now Ilana was
No, no,
amazing
no.
big sister, man. Like even there
Yeah,
was that picture with Isla where she was cuddling Isla and they were
oh,
both watching the phone. It's like that she's
yeah,
an amazing big sister. She wants to be a big sister. She
yeah,
loves being a big sis.
yeah.
Be it with Nia, be it with Isla and whatnot. It's amazing. And then Idris being a big brother. I feel like being the only male and being the first one, this is something different there. He's still very so, and he's also older. He's very independent now as well. But Lava loves being a big sister, man. It's
No,
amazing.
no, that's all she, I remember what she prayed for when we were like telling her, do you want a boy or a girl? And she was like, I want a sister. I don't want a boy. Anyway, her prayers got answered. She's got little Nini. But yeah, other than that, bro, yeah, so that was heartwarming this morning. And like, I know now, because we went through identity crisis, I don't want her to go through that. I wanted to know her history. And we do that a lot with with wifey and we try and give her elements of, the Arabic culture and our culture, the Muslim religion. She started doing Arabic and she's doing really well, bro. Their memories, they just sink in everything.
Mm.
Uh, and then yeah, but that broke my heart a little bit this morning because she feels like she's out of place. She is loud. She is what's the word?
She's expressive. She can
Yeah,
express
she's
herself.
expressive. She's
She's
really good like
creative.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, So I think she's struggling a little bit of how other people will accept that.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
it's amazing at 5 years she can acknowledge it. You know what's crazy though? I was just speaking to a colleague just like before this call, before our podcast, and I was talking to him about how I don't know much about my culture, and
mm,
now I'm older, I want to know more. When I was younger, I didn't really care really much about it. But
mm,
now I'm older, I don't want my culture knowledge to be gone after our parents. I wanna carry that on. And I didn't really acknowledge that until, recently. You know what I mean? For the longest time, I don't know. And I do want my kids to know about Bangladesh and whatnot. Even though we haven't been there, and inshallah we'll go there soon. I haven't been there in like 15 years or something. But there's a lot that I don't know about my culture, man. And it's a bit and Bangladesh and whatnot. So I'm trying to learn it now. I mean, I just turned 39 the other day, and I'm just
happy
like,
birthday, bro. Happy
yeah, thank
birthday.
you, man. Thank you. Yeah. And I'm just like, man, like that's one part. But damn, the older you get, the more aware I am of of my culture, of who I am. And I do want to learn more about Bangladesh and
I
whatnot.
mean,
And
but
also,
that's the thing though, isn't it? Like we wasn't like as much as our parents told us about our cultures, they didn't go way, way back, ancestors and the rest of it.
mm,
And but we're not taught that in a Western culture. We're only taught about what they did basically. And yeah, yeah, we smashed it, man. We almost took over the whole world, not realizing what it did to us and the rest of the world. So our culture is full, man. It's rich. It's got so much to it. We you go way back to the Mongolian times. You know what I mean? Like, we probably ancestors of that guy, man. That guy was a fiend. Uh, so
true,
like
man.
it goes back so far than the Indian cultures because we got a lot of Indian culture in our culture.
Yeah, we
You
were
know,
once
it's
part of India.
only
So
yeah,
yes.
exactly. So we are Indian, and I think that's what people tend to take to offense and they get it wrong. Yes, Indian because before East Pakistan and Pakistan, it was India. So we were Indian.
Mm.
It's the
And it was
separation in between.
yeah, and I believe, Britain had something to do with the separation. Gandhi, I believe,
Yeah, the
wanted everyone,
partition. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
he wanted everyone to be peace and whatnot. And it was one country, but Britain's solution at that time was separation. Everything was separation. All right, you
Well,
Hindus stay
separation of
here,
resources,
Muslims
isn't
over
it?
there. Yeah, I mean, of course, resources being the main thing, stealing or making deals, whatever. But solutions to everything. I mean, that's what's happening in Palestine right now. It's got to do with the Zionist movement and that Belfort guy. And separation and putting, displacing people. But anyway, not getting into that. But yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of culture, and I am watching YouTube videos of Bangladesh and whatnot. So yeah, I'm trying to acknowledge more for myself. And I do want to pass that on to my kids as well. But it's amazing how Allah is acknowledging that anyway, because it's good. At least you can speak to you about it. At least you're not going to it for yourself. I think you're right. We suffered identity crisis. We had no one to talk to about that. You can never talk to friends about it, especially at that age, right?
Mm.
So you're just trying to fit in. You're just doing shit to fit in. You're looking a certain way. You're listening to certain music. You're talking a certain way because you want to fit in. You're dressing a certain way. Maybe some people go and do other things that they shouldn't be. Like I'm happy I stayed away from things like drugs and cigarettes and all that sort of stuff. Like I stayed away. I thank God I was always disciplined with that. And I think I
Mm.
had that in me. I had that element of discipline. It's like, nah, I don't need to go. For me, I don't need to go that far to try and fit in with my friends and whatnot. Even though for the longest time, I'm talking about at least until maybe 5 years, within the last 5 years, only now I'm more confident and comfortable with be like, no, I don't want to drink. Like I'm not
Mm.
into that stuff. Like whereas before, I just feel very uncomfortable, man. And people will say stuff and whatnot. And I'm talking about being in a working environment because that's what everyone does. Everyone drinks. I remember being in Hong Kong, one guy kept on talking about trying to make fun. And I'm like, bro, like you can make all the fun, it doesn't really affect me. But the
Mm.
fact is, like, this dude had like literally had liver problems and he was just out of shape, unhealthy dude. I'm like, bro, you can diss me all you want. You could try and say how manly you are by drinking and how unmanly I am by not. Like, bro, like it doesn't affect me. And the fact of the matter is, you're gonna be dead soon, and I'm gonna be living for, inshallah, a longer time. And talking about manly, like, what do you know about manly just because you drink? I mean, like, bro, can you even like, fight? Like, can you protect your kids? Can you protect your family? I mean, are you funding for your family? Like, you got liver problems. You're gonna be dead. How are you gonna set your family up? And some of the best fighters in the world right now. But I'm just using them as examples. No, athletes in general don't drink and what's up. Anyway, the point I was making is like I've recently felt comfortable to be like, no, I don't drink. I'm very comfortable with saying, no, I'm not into that stuff. I don't drink. I don't need to come to
Mm.
the pub just because you guys want to go there and drink, and for me to just try and fit in. It's like, nah, I'm good, guys. I'm a married man now. I'm older. I love my religion a lot more. I mean, I always did. I'm just getting more disciplined with it. I'm comfortable saying, no, I'm not coming to the pub, guys. I'm not on it. I don't want to go there. Whereas before, again, it was all identity crisis. I won't drink, I won't touch none of the stuff, but I will go just to kind of fit in. And that's one thing I've learned a lot, man. I'm not doing stuff to fit in anymore with people. I love what I love, and that's it. I don't get. Um, so yeah, and being in Dubai helps a lot as well because you know what? Drinking is not a thing here. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
going out for food and all that stuff is, but drinking is not a thing here. So it's nice, it's nice to be in an environment where it's just normal for people for the way we live, sort of thing. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it, man. I'm saying like, it takes time. I think being your true self, it takes confidence. It's a working thing, man. You have to really battle your environment. You have to really battle whatever your environment is. And sometimes maybe your environment pushes pressure on you, so you're gonna battle that too. So it's not an easy task. I get that. But it's something they should acknowledge and work on.
I
Um,
think now, and people need to accept that more. And I think we've come on that path together anyway, bro. Like, for the way we do things now, and we do stuff that we like. People keep asking me, like, how you get these opportunities and the rest of it. I'm like, it's like, do what you love doing, bro, and be you.
yeah, look,
Be
bro,
you.
look at our channel. We've lost all views because we've been censored and what do you call it, blocked and all that stuff because of. But we're still doing it. I've had people say to me, "Oh, like what happened? Like, is it worth maybe checking other platforms?" No. We're gonna carry on each
Mm.
week doing a thing. We're gonna put our time in and doing it because it's not gonna stop. We love it. I love talking
Mm.
about stuff. I love geeking about the movies and stuff that we're gonna talk about later. I like it. I love this. So just because we're being censored doesn't mean we're gonna stop because
And I
like
think that's where people get that wrong, bro. Because again, that sense of validation and oh man, we only got like 4 views and I only got, I got 0 likes. That picture was banging though, It's like, come on, man. Get your head out the space game. Yes, social media can be very cool, man. We get updates on like pop culture, uh, and we post stuff that we adore and love, I think. Yeah, and that's how you should see it. It's a book of
Hmm.
memories. It should be a
Yeah.
book of memories to you guys. Book of achievements. That's the main thing. Listen, I think, and I've had this conversation with several people. You can't validate on nothing. This like as amazing as it is to get that attention, it doesn't validate nothing and doesn't make you feel any better. All it does is probably adds more stress and anxiety on top of your head, thinking, man, that post should have hit at least 20, man. Man got 20,000 followers and I've got 50. It doesn't work like that, man. The algorithm will push whatever it pushes, what is like trending. We're not trending because we do our own thing. And I think that's the problem. People follow a trend. Like there was this video that I saw the other day, and the guy was like, he was quite upset because he was like, I'm doing all the trends, I'm following this and nothing. Be you, man. And I think that will bring that uniqueness to what you do. You end up looking through your own page because of memories. I go back on my page to look for, but basic, man, this video is cringe. Like delete. Because Laura and Nia are gonna go through it and be like, Dad, man, what the hell are you doing, man? So I go through it and say, good memories, bad memories, but I'll take out the stuff that I feel like, you know what, and they're gonna abuse me in my old age because of that video. But I want people to be more understanding on, listen, man, post a picture. It's memories, that's what it's meant to be. We don't have physical books no more. So Instagram, Facebook, and all of that is our digital library and memories. But I think people use it as a marketing tool, which for companies is fine. And for individual businesses, it's perfect. But if you're an individual person, public figure, or something like that, you know, like for me now, I know my platform is to use to send a message out there. I can put something positive out there, even if it's five of you that get engaged. It doesn't really bother me. I think before it did, before Singapore it did, it was like, oh man, we put a lot of work in what we do, and we didn't. Having that break kind of made me realize you lose focus in what you do, and I think it's important to the listeners as well. Like, listen, don't beat yourself up, man. I know people message me saying, what do you think of the content? And man, I think your content's amazing. Your content's amazing. You spread love. You spread pop culture. You're passionate about what you do. I think people need to step away from trying to follow what others are doing and do you.
Yeah. And
And
you
then
know
you
that.
accept yourself in a different way, man, because you realize, we went through a shit little change, and I think we're regathering our thoughts on how we do things. But like the clips that you do is perfect. This extra stuff for people, and I want to get back to doing the daily content like we did with those other clips, which was the little shorts. They worked, but it was because it looks good, and I feel like we get better information out that way for people to come to see us. But we're just doing what we think is fine. Like we're not doing it like how the pros are. We don't have no back in there, guys. It's only you guys that watch and listen. So
Yeah,
we
it's a
do it
two-man
not just
operation. It's just,
it's
I
a
mean, when
two-man
I say
operation,
two-man,
yeah.
we got Atia and whatnot to join our things. We've got Astro in the game and stuff. But this whole editing stuff, I mean, bro, this is what I'm trying to say. There were some points that I would try to copy other people's
Yeah.
like reactions and breakdowns and Easter eggs, and I'm like, you know what? That's boring. I don't want to do that. I don't
Mm.
like that. And there's so much research that goes. Credit to them because there's so much research that goes into it, frame by frame, and all that sort of stuff. But I was getting like, laughed at the other day by the boys
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of my
yeah, yeah, yeah.
aliens Womanos trailer reaction. And then Habib was laughing at me, goes, bro, you didn't even react. I thought my internet died because you were still. And I'm like, guy, I'm not gonna be that guy. When I do my trailer reaction, guys, or whatever reaction guy, I'm not gonna be that guy to exaggerate in a reaction. If
Yeah,
it
yeah,
makes
yeah,
me
yeah.
react, then I'm gonna react. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be that guy who's just still and stern
Yeah.
face, and I'll be like, well, that's my reaction. That's simple. So that's how that trailer made me react. I was stern face. I was watching the trailer. I was like, okay, that was it. Whereas, the bad boy one had comedy in it. So I laughed when it made me laugh. But at the
Yeah,
end of
no.
the day, I'm gonna react. And if it doesn't make me react in a certain way, I'm not gonna react. I'm not gonna force like, oh my God, that was no, like it's not me. Um, so we're
I
gonna
think the
like
only time that's happened to me is when Avengers Infinity War
exactly and
came out.
end
And
games
when
and
Thanos walked out of the
Spider-Man.
portal and you
Yes.
were like,
But
like,
those were
yeah, that,
legit though. That was a legit
yeah,
reaction. You know what I
yeah.
mean? For example, like, that Aliens trailer, it wasn't much. It was just a short little teaser. But when the Alien thing came out, if I just randomly went like, oh my God, that's sick. Like, I've seen that before 1,000 times. It's not sick. I know, I know. It was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean the trailer was bad. It just means that
No,
was the reaction.
but
But
it
this is
looks
what I
good.
mean.
Looks good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is what I mean, like with us, like with and not just us, but anyone. And I get this from Joe Rogan, just do you, just have a conversation. This is what I love. We're having a conversation. We put our phones down. I know sometimes we're on the computer and we might have to work a little bit, but we're just having a conversation and geeking out for about an hour between us. You know what I mean? That's a rare thing that you do because every time, I was just talking to my missus the other day. We went out for dinner on my birthday and whatnot, and then we took a little walk. And then when we walked, we just walked, phones went away. We walked around and we're just talking. And I was like, you know what? This reminds me of the first time we met each other. That's exactly what we did in Singapore. Went for dinner and then went for a nice long walk and just had a conversation. At home, when we conversate, it's very minimal. Or it's not that it's very minimal. There's something going on in the background. There's a TV show, there's YouTube, there's something going on. And we just talk about stuff and that's it. Whereas there, we had a long conversation. And this podcast, we have a long conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's important. So regardless of us being shadow banned, regardless of the views that we're getting now, we're going to keep doing our things, man. Whether we get clicks and views or not, we're going to keep doing our things and we're going to react how we react and talk about what we want to talk about, like whatever the trends or I don't care, man. We talk about what we enjoy.
I think that's the main important part. But yeah, guys, just do you, honestly, 100%. Just do you, and
Bruce Lee
yeah,
said it
just
best. Bruce Lee
yeah,
said it best. Don't go out. Be yourself. Be true to yourself. Don't go out and try to imitate a successful personality. Just be yourself. Always be you.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
it's worked.
exactly.
It's worked for us.
There
All
you
right.
go. Super,
On that
super said it.
note, yeah. See, Bruce said it himself. On that note, let's move. Let's get into this. Let's talk about real world issues as we would do. Guys, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to skip this, check the description. You can go straight to the Geekout news. But as always, we're going to be talking about Free Palestine and the situation that's going on in Gaza right now, which is horrific. They're on the brink of famine. Israel is not letting any aid in blatantly. There was a UN call for a ceasefire the other day. The US finally, well, they didn't veto it, but they abstained from voting. That's the best they could do, but that's a change. At least, but it hasn't stopped Israel from bombing them. It hasn't stopped them. They've lost
They've been
much
on
international
Rafah.
support. Yeah, so much international. They've lost all international support except I don't know if US is their big brother or their little brother. I don't know what it is now, but they've lost so much. Even Alex Jones finally came out the other day saying that this is a genocide. And I know that guy can be crazy, but he gets. But he talked about Epstein Island before anyone, and he was right. Yes, he said some other stuff was wrong, like the Sandy Hook situation was a bit bad. But listen, even Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, there was another clip that went around, and I posted on my Instagram saying, "So it's okay to do a genocide if we do it." Like that. That was a quote. So listen, everyone can see it. I don't know what Israel's. You know what? Again, that government, that army, they're not human. They've been brainwashed. Something's wrong. But the world is speaking out still. But the world needs to take action, man. Sanctions, boycotting. The countries need to do sanctions. Us people could do the boycotting. Us people could do the donating. Yes, the different countries, they need to obviously donate as well to UNRWA and all that sort of stuff. That they need to start sanctioning. The US, bloody hell, I know Canada stopped. I think that Canada stopped sending arms, which is a good thing. The US needs to stop sending arms, but they won't. But people need the countries.
There's a larger thing, bro, going on here.
Of course,
the fact that we're coming up to 7 months, bro, soon. That
all the way through
this
Ramadan.
is happening.
They done the ceasefire halfway through. Israel obviously didn't. I'm not going to listen to it. It's all the way through Ramadan. Right, countries need to listen. The South Africa apartheid, right? Countries putting pressure in regards to like sanctions and boycotting is what made that change. The whole world needs to sanction Israel and make they need to make a statement. These countries need to make a statement like that. Not, oh, I condemn it, but then keep ties. No, get rid of all political ties. Sanction them, man. Block oil and commodities and all that sort of stuff. Not to put them in a situation where it's like, all right, guys, we're gonna listen. let's make this deal and then get the world back to normal, get back to normal with them. But right now, man, when they're murdering and they're genocide, like the genocide's going on, it's like the world needs to take action now. I'm talking about the political leaders, man. We could do the best we can of speaking out and donating. Those countries and political leaders need to take action, sanctions and stuff like that, man.
That's it, man. I keep saying we're too late, and it's horrible, absolutely horrible. I had a conversation with a Zionist again last night.
Another one, okay.
They shared one of my videos, then suddenly was like, "Oh, sorry, I'm gonna have to delete it," and I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "Why free Palestine?" And I said,
Why did she share it in the first place?
"I don't think she clocked."
Ah,
Muslim brother guy, sharing some peaceful thoughts, shared my video. Thank you very much for sharing that. And so she goes, so she said, like, why free Palestine? And I was like, they've suffered enough. They've gone through enough. And she was like, free from who? Be more specific. And I said, the government, the IDF, the Zionists, like I know Jewish brothers and sisters don't want this. This is not them. This is not their religion. There's clearly enough Jews that do not believe in that. And I was like, I don't know, like, why you feel this way for. And she was like, oh no, they stole the land and all of this. I was like, they are not educated, bro. They don't even know their own history. They only told what their parents told them.
and what the Zionists
They weren't
tell them.
told.
And they get that information from the
Yeah,
Zionists.
bro,
The Zionists
it's like
speaking.
beyond crazy. So I'm having this civilized conversation. We're going back and forth. And I said, look, listen, I don't want nobody to die on any side, but this is outrageous now. It's come to a point now where you can't even count, bro. They still need to go through rubble and they'll find more people.
Yeah, it's about 30, I think it's like nearly 32,000 now, and that's not including anyone in the rubble.
Bro, this is and I said that, and I was like, so what's your reasoning for kids? They could be Hamas and they're using human shields. I'm like, you're just regurgitating what the government people are saying. Like, what's your thoughts on people getting killed? Like, people are getting killed, full stop. People are getting killed, full stop. What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on, like I said, your humanity? Like, yes, I'm Muslim, but I care for humanity. Doesn't matter. I've got Jewish brothers and sister friends from day dot who do not agree with this, who know that they've been told lies. And when they've grown up in a multicultural area, they'll be like, oh my God, can you believe that? Like, they're telling lies over there because those kids, bro, it was proper brainwash talk, bro. It was unbelievable. No remorse, no care. Being a Muslim, bro, it was, the conversation was quite hurtful because I was like, oh my God, like, this is how some people think, bro. They do not understand the privileges they have. So that means they're not deep connected with their religion or faith. They just believe in what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I going to get on my plate tomorrow? Where am I going to go tomorrow? And that is the sadness of humanity at the moment, bro. Anyway, delete blocked. What can you do? Keep moving forward. I hope people find some sort of love in their hearts, man, for the humankind, man. Because it's such a shame, man. Congo, Sudan, Yemen. These people of power have really messed up, bro. I feel like the world government and world people has been the worst it's ever been. And the fact that I've had to experience that is insane, bro. I watched this thing about propaganda with Bassem Youssef when he was in India. Really good clip. I'm not sure if you've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
but he talks about that and like when he talks about Winston Churchill and how it will rally up people because that guy didn't care. That guy's another beast as well. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, people in power have the power to do something, but they won't because they're getting something out of it. And people that have been brainwashed, and everybody's going to go on like I'm some sort of conspiracy theorist. It's not that because I've had several conversations, no arguments, where they get frustrated because they were like, "How's this Muslim guy not attacking me?" And I'm like, "We don't attack. We've never attacked. You've started everything from the beginning. Most of you guys have come to me to say, what the F you up to and what do you mean? And stirred it down to a conversation. Let's talk more, man. Like people need to know, and I think look into the history, guys. Like it's so important to learn this. My kids know now, Alara knows now, they're gonna grow up knowing that this is gonna be like their World War III now. Why are they killing brown people? Why are they killing babies, pregnant women, men? Why are they taking over their houses, Dad? The fact that I thought that, we could leave that behind us, Second World War and everything they've done around the world, colonization and all this. The fact that it's happening right now, insane, bro. Absolutely insane. Absolutely
Yeah,
insane.
I
Anyway,
mean these
that's
Zionist talking points. I mean, literally, there's literally a document that goes out for people to speak those Zionist talking points. I mean, look, so all the stories that you hear about Jewish brothers and sisters who immediately get invited to go to Israel and immediately are told lies, and I immediately from the beginning, like, oh, it was a land without people and all this sort of stuff. They're told that from the beginning. That's the Zionist talking point. That's brainwashing people in the beginning. So it's hard. I don't blame those people because they've been brainwashed. Like they've been told, oh no, it's a land without people. That was our land from the beginning, and all this sort of rubbish. Yeah, if Jewish people were there, listen, man, like it was the land of Palestine. Like, all right, there were Jewish brothers and sisters in Palestine. I mean, look, that's what I'm saying. It's difficult to have that conversation, and I don't blame them because they have been brainwashed. Like, it's
I
tough.
know, bro.
And that's
I
the
know.
same thing that happens with all these fascist regimes and whatnot. It's unfortunate that these leaders will brainwash people, and people can be brainwashed. I mean, where you know, look at the mainstream media news. Like all of that is all propaganda that brainwashes people. You know what I mean? So it tells you the narrative that they want you to know. You know, I'm not saying that what they're saying is all false. What I'm saying is it's a narrative that they want you to follow. It's a narrative that you should follow. The facts are facts, man. Human beings are dying. Human beings are dying. Babies are dying. Children are dying. How do you justify that? What, human shields? That's a BS. It's BS. That recent video that went out that made Alex Jones, that made Joe Rogan speak out. Bro, it was literally for Palestinian like kids or adults just walking and a drone just blew them up. You can't say that, Hamas. You can't say that anything. There was another clip that Martin Lamont Hill talked about. Someone was literally waving a white flag, and Martin Lamont Hill was saying, "This is international law. It's not a cartoon. It's not a military movie. It's actually real life. When someone waves a white flag, it's a sign of surrender, and you're not supposed to harm that person." They just shot him. They shot him dead without remorse. There's a 12-year-old boy that got killed because he was firing fireworks for Ramadan. And then they shot him dead. And then the Israeli, one of the prime minister, whatever guy was like, I'm like praising the soldier that killed him. And they all like twisted it. Oh, he shot the firework at the soldier. I'm like, so you decided to shoot a 12-year-old boy in the head? Nah, it's all lies,
You
man.
know the trauma that these IDF soldiers will have to live through
Some of
after.
them, yeah.
Because I think
Some
what's
of them won't because they are corrupted human. They're not
no, no,
pure.
of course,
Their
but there's
minds are
going to be
corrupt.
more. I'm trying to work out when this comes to an end. When it does, what are people? Because, bro, majority of people right now that stand by Palestine is a bigger majority than what they're going for. And Israel's starting to get into trouble now because other countries are falling out. But the problem is, nobody's gone in there to actually say, look, you need to stop now because this is madness right now.
Only the
Because
US can
now the
make that
whole
happen.
world.
Yeah. Only the US can make that happen. They only because they got the
So
US
what have they
backing.
got on the US for them to be that scared
It's
of
you know
that
what
small country, bro?
it's weird. It's that APAC. I don't know the background, man. There's so much, right? But there's this APAC governing lobby that just funds all these politicians in the US. Listen, I don't know what it is that the US again. It's a Zionist colonizing settlers project. Maybe that they maybe I don't know. The truth is I don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking shit right now. There's things an expert can talk about that, but it's only the US that can make that happen. And you know how they do it? Stop arms. You stop arms in them, giving them arms, and that's it. But you know what? They carry on arming them. And as long as you carry on arming them, they're going to keep blowing up and killing innocent people. The moment you stop arming them, they can't kill innocent people. And that's when peace can really be built. Now, the argument is that, oh, well, if Israel drops all their arms, Hamas will come in. That's bullshit argument. That they always say that, oh, Hamas will go in and do that. There's a quote that people say is like, if Israel dropped all their arms and Hamas dropped all their arms, there'll be no peace because Hamas will immediately start killing them. It's like That's 100% BS. What will stop the violence if you stop the occupation, if you let them have their own state, right? If you stop stealing their land, if you stop killing them, if you stop killing their children, their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, sisters, if you stop all of that, that will work. That will work. It's a simple thing. It's a simple human thing. I'm just a random dude, but I think I know if I don't kill someone, if I don't steal someone's stuff, they're gonna leave me alone. I mean, it's as simple as that. But no, these politicians and these Zionists like really have this. It's weird, man. They're not human. They are not human. They're not human. And a lot of people who are, like I said, who are respected, who have enjoyed their content, be it MMA fighters, be it comedians, I lose so much respect for them because I'm like, man, when it comes to humanity, you've lost yours, man. You've lost yours. It's not got nothing to do with Hamas because no one gives a shit about them. It's about the innocent people of Palestine. So people have lost their humanity, but it's all changing because it's all digital. You can't hide it no more. And what Israel done, they've destroyed their reputation. And I know they're going to keep doing it, but the world, everyone's speaking out because they've shown their true colors. They are disgusting, colonizing, racist.
I can't believe it's got to this point, bro, because I remember a couple of years back when they did the thing with the mosque, and they've really put themselves in it now, bro, because now they will know that that's going to be on top of them for the rest of their life. Well, eternity now.
You got presidents of countries like Brazil, right? And I don't want to say these words. I didn't ever want to say these words or whatnot. This is the words of like Brazilian politicians and other politicians, calling them Nazis, calling them like Joe Rogan said it in the podcast recently. So how do you do what happened to you
to somebody else?
Someone else. People are saying that. People are comparing them. I mean, politicians, high-end people, not me. I've never wanted to say those words. I don't want to say those words. But people are saying that. I'm trying to say, how do you do that? And that's what they've turned themselves into. How crazy is that? How crazy is that, man? And the heartbreaking thing is the real Jewish brothers and sisters, their religion is being hijacked. I've read a quote.
Yeah, bro. It's heartbreaking.
I think it might be Norman Finkelstein. I can't remember who it is, but it was someone who said that Nazis made me scared to be Jewish. Israel has made me be ashamed to be Jewish. I mean, you know what I mean? Like Jewish brother and sister, again, man, I feel sorry for them, man. Like the shit that they've gone through throughout history, and now I still think that they're
still going through it, bro.
It's just different a little bit. Like now they're hijacking the religion. It's not like, oh, let's kill them all, which was horrific what happened to them. Now it's like hijack the religion. I mean, that religion, man, them brothers and sisters, man, they've gone through so much shit. So we need to fight for them too. This is not just for Palestine or whatnot, but this is for the real Jewish brothers and sisters too, man. They deserve. One day they deserve their peace too. They deserve to just have their religion and
bro, they do. They so do, man. Man. But yeah, guys, listen, go to our social media pages. Please donate. Do as much as you can. I've got the Guards of Relief on our pages. Every little helps, guys. Every little. Doesn't matter, even if it's £1, man. Whatever we can do to help them. All right. Let's move on, bro.
Let's move on, guys. Free Palestine. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Things we watched. All right, let's go straight into some fun stuff, man. X-Men 97. So last week we spoiled episode 1, but I've seen episode 2 and 3 now, so we could talk about episode 2 and 3. Did you watch 3, yeah? Goddamn. So we can't even talk about. All right, well, let's talk about episode 2. All right, so last week we talked about Cyclops and best superhero landing of all time. I know Ahmed was cussing me. It was like, it's an actual thing. I'm like, I don't care. It's a thing now. Right? But episode 2 with Magneto. Boy, first of all, he looks good. Handsome you. Or not you anymore, but handsome dude. He aged well. I know it's a cartoon. It's weird. I know, guys. But they drawn him well. And he's powerful. The animation, the dialogue, things have changed. I know it's still X-Men, but you have to notice things have changed. The animation, the dialogue, the action, the violence, the sense of violence that they've taken it to. Like you see a bit of blood and stuff like that now, which you didn't before. So things have changed from the original and whatnot. But remember the end of that episode where he took those board members and that that assassin dude or whatnot, and he just
Executioner.
executioner. He flew them up to space, and the statement that he made, and the statement that he made was just fantastic. I mean, just to show that he has changed, that he could crush you, and the way he done it was so devastating. That it's like, man, he's so powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
But he made a
Definitely.
statement of like, my friend Charles believed in me, and that's what I love about it, is this underlying story, because he is Magneto, but Charles has such faith in the Union and
Hmm.
has such faith in his friend Magneto. It even made Magneto be like, okay, I will do this for you, Charles, because you believed in me that much. Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's it's amazing. And Magneto's episode 2 for me, Magneto, it was amazing.
Yeah, bro. He's the MVP of that episode, bro. The stuff he said in that episode about mutants, bro. That hit hard, bro, because I related to that, and that hit a lot of people, diverse wise, what it's like to feel the way he felt, and how he even talked about what he went through, and I was like, bro, this is too deep. Well, this is X-Men '97. This is the animation, and it covers real world situations. You know what I mean? And what happened to Storm? Deep,
Oh
deep.
man.
Uh,
Oh, dude.
bro, listen, Magneto's MVP of that. It's very interesting where they're heading with this because they're starting to come to comic book stories that we know. Uh, it's just so good, bro. Like, what I don't. We say this with a lot of programs, yeah, and stuff we watch. Ah, it's amazing, 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 amazing. Like, they are amazing. You know, I think they are amazing. But this just tops the level, bro. I don't know why, bro. I was like, oh my God, I am super
Bro,
crit.
I'm watching these like I'm watching a UFC event. I'm excited to see
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah, yeah,
happens.
yeah.
And I feel like I should record my reactions because, bro, even with yesterday's the third episode, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm screaming. Like, bro, this show is so good. I don't know, this cartoon, this animation is so damn good. It's the best Marvel content, I don't care, since we've had since Endgames, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's the best Marvel content since Endgame, because I'm constantly smiling. I'm so happy, and I'm loving every individual character. I'm loving Morph. I was gonna say Morph is making me laugh. I love his character. The relationship between him and Wolverine, like every character is man, the character building. I know they've already done it with the old show, but they just bring it back. It's so awesome, man. I'm loving it. I generally am enjoying watching 30 minutes of this show. And I feel like I should react. I feel like I should start recording my reaction, because I feel like things are gonna happen, because they
Do
keep
it, bro.
happening,
Do it.
where it
Do
just
it.
makes me like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Because that's exactly what it did. So I'm gonna try and you know what? From next week, I'm gonna try and record my live reaction watching the show, and I'll just upload it or upload shorts based on some scenes and whatnot. Um, I can't wait for you to watch third episode though, because it's good. It's good. It's so good.
No, I will do. Hopefully, I get the chance later on today. Got to pick up a Lara later on, so we'll sit down. We'll watch it together. Uh,
Anything
yeah, I'm
else on
looking forward to it,
X-Men?
bro. It's really good, bro. Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
All right, cool. X-Men 97, guys. If you haven't watched it, where the hell have you been? Also, I was talking to a deal, and he was like, oh, I wait for Saturday mornings because it gives me that nostalgia. I'm like, bro, I just can't wait. I just can't wait. I wish I could, but I can't wait. But yeah, X-Men 97, best thing on TV right now, in my opinion. The other thing I watched Roadhouse. Roadhouse came out. Conor McGregor, Jake
Yes, I haven't
Gyllenhaal.
seen it yet. What did you think?
Bro, I really enjoyed it. It was really good. Similar concept, but different from the original.
Yeah.
In the original, Patrick Swayze was this bouncer. I think he was almost militant. He was very organized. He was very disciplined, all this sort of stuff. He came in to set things straight. In this one, he's not a bouncer. He's not as disciplined. He's not as organized in
Mm.
regards to the team that he's trying to set up and whatnot. But he's an ex-MMA fighter, fought in the UFC. I believe it was the UFC. He has trauma. In this one, I don't want to spoil it or anything, but he's going through trauma and stuff like that. But he's been called over to Roadhouse too, because of similar sort of things that happened to the original one. People causing trouble. I mean, it's awesome. You go in there and then there's bare beef as always, right? That's in general, but there's a specific group of people that come in and just cause bare beef. The fight scenes are really good. I feel like Conor McGregor had
Yeah.
a great influence on the fight scenes because there's these certain camera angles that they take and they rotate the camera around them. They have these close-ups or whatnot. They really tried to make the fights as realistic as possible. He does it. They do a great job, and I feel like McGregor had a big part of it, of course, being a professional fighter and on the expert level of fighting.
Yeah.
And McGregor was awesome, bro. He was listen. He was just being himself, which is that rowdy dude, right? That he is, and he was really good, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have to say, he was really good. He was just that crazy Irishman that came into cause ruckus or whatnot. His fighting skills obviously are amazing. He had his little Bruce Lee moment where he
Yeah.
had the stance and done a stepping side kick. Spoiler alert, sorry. But I'm pretty sure McGregor put that in there. He goes, I want to have my. I'm pretty sure he's like. I would love to ask him that question. Was that your idea? Because I know he's a Bruce Lee fan and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have been like, listen, this is my first movie. Let me have my Bruce Lee moment, and you put that in there. He was also the story. Listen, there was a bit more humor to this movie compared to the first one. You're not gonna get that line that you loved from the first one, which I won't say because it's Ramadan, but something about look at my you know, remember what
Oh,
that
right.
was?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
there's a
That
lot
line killed me, bro.
there's a lot more comedy in this movie, like which brightens it up, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
keeps it kind of going. A lot of heart in this movie. Jake Gyllenhaal's awesome, was in fantastic shape. Oh my God, just
Yeah.
watching him, watch his training videos and whatnot gets you motivated. He's brilliant. Yeah, my bro, enjoyable. Definitely watch it. Definitely. What I loved about it was, yes, it was a remake. And this is one of those remakes where they changed a couple of the concept. They kept the main base of the concept, but they changed a
Yeah.
couple things just enough to make it interesting and just enough for you to appreciate it, love it, but as well as always love the original. So definitely a great movie.
All right. Cool. Looking forward to watching it. I've got 4 days off, so I'm gonna have a game.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Okay, the other movie I watched was Bob Marley. I watched the Marley movie, One Love.
Yes, I have. I haven't
And
seen that yet.
you haven't seen it yet. You know what, bro?
No.
I have to say, I enjoyed it, and it's a movie of hope. I
Yeah.
felt it lacked a little bit of heart, in my opinion. When I mean by heart, I mean it had heart, but spoiler alert, again, a little bit. Like this focused on his success and this focused on the last part where he was bringing unity, especially between the political parties in Jamaica, but
Mm.
around the world as well. And he was having a whole European tour and all this sort of stuff, African tour and everything. So it was based kind of around that. I would have loved to see a lot more of his upbringing just to kind of get to know him a bit more. Because, yes, I know Bob Marley, I know his music and whatnot. I know his music being very powerful around the world at that time.
Mm.
Dad used to play it all the time and whatnot. I don't know much about his upbringing, you know what I mean? Like as
Mm.
a child and whatnot. It just starts off, they show little clips here and there, but it just starts off, and I'm spoiling it, sorry, just Bob Marley having a humble upbringing. And then that's it. And then he gets into it. And I'm kind of like, I wish you gave me a bit more about his upbringing, just so I could see the type of character he became, because we saw the type of character he became. Very
Yeah.
loving man and all about peace and unity and whatnot. But how did he get there? What in that sort of place in what was happening in Jamaica at the time? How did this one individual with his music just wanted people to just love each other? You know, I would love to see that growth. Um,
Yeah.
but look, Kensley Ben Adair, like
Yeah.
fantastic, performance. And when I say not like I'm an expert on Bob Marley, but when you just watch videos of Bob Marley, like he's so believable. He does it so well. He acts like him so well. And that's his job, being an actor and whatnot. But the film was wicked. Film was great, amazing. I just said, for me, in my opinion, it just lacked a bit of heart because I wish they gave a bit more background on Bob Marley and his life story growing up.
Okay.
So, yeah, great movie. I definitely recommend it though. Definitely recommend watching it. All right. Well, look, I'm gonna hand it over to you, bro, because you have. Well, other than that, I'm watching things like Physical 100 on Netflix, which is awesome. If you haven't seen it, still watching Shogun, so going through that, which is awesome. But yeah, I'll hand it over to you, bro, because you had a couple screenings. So let us know. Like, I believe you watched Ghostbuster and then Godzilla versus Kong. Like, what can you say without spoiling it? But what's your thoughts on those movies?
Oh yes, man, bloody hell, we did quite a lot, didn't we? Forgot about Ghostbusters, bro. Bloody hell, what a week. Uh, so here we go, man. Let's start off with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Where did you throw your water bottle? I can't find it anywhere. You just dashed it somewhere. All right, sorry. Nia is. Oh, you need to get out. You want to go in your prison? All right, not long, not long. Give me 2 minutes. All right, so Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. We saw that last week. Uh, bro, you know what? And I think
Oh
not that I'm
man,
getting
I say that
critical,
I'm looking at your face. I'm like, man, because the last one was so good. Like, I feel like
bro.
something
The
went
last one
wrong.
was amazing. It had heart. I just felt like this one didn't have heart. I felt like this was a bit of a crash cash grab. It's still good fun, bro. Getting to see all the, you got the new guys and you got the old guys coming together. But there are some things in that movie that don't sit well with me, where it's like there's far too many people in this.
Mm.
That's what I found. So when you try and share screen time with 8 people, it's very difficult because we watch something like Avengers Endgame and Infinity War and Avengers. You can because they've already got their backstories. We know so much about them. They've had their individual movies. But with this, the new guys, I wanted to get to know them more because in Afterlife and after what happened, you're like, it'd be nice to see a continuing story with that. But listen, bro, there's some great one-liners. Uh, I don't know. It just didn't hit me well personally. But it's still a great fun watch, bro. It's a Ghostbusters movie, uh, and it's got the original guys back. I mean, I just found out the other day Ernie Hudson is 79 years old. That guy's a vampire, bro.
But he looks good. He looks good. That's why I
Bro, he
hope he
looks so
lifeguard
good.
does. Yeah.
That he looks so good.
I
Uh,
tried to send these things to dad, and because I saw Chuck Norris when he turned 84 and he was hitting a punching bag, and I tried to send them to dad. I'm like, Dad, that could be you. Like, stop saying you're old, man. Look at these old guys doing it. Like, trying to get dad motivated. You know what I mean?
Bro, send him that Ernie Hudson one, man. Anyway, listen, Ernie Hudson, you look awesome, dude. Hopefully, one day when you're back in London at a Comic Con, I am definitely. That's one guy I do want to meet, and then I'm gonna ask him, man, just bite me, bro, because you got some vampire blood in you, bro.
And he bite my
Uh,
neck. Awkward games.
so yeah, listen, man, it's a good fun watch, good fun action-packed kind of comedy. Paul Rudd smashes it, Bill Murray smashes it, but there are parts of the story where I feel like there's too many people and there's too many people. Uh, but yeah, no, listen, that's out in cinemas now, guys. Go enjoy Bank Holiday weekend. Last night got to see a screening of Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. I'm gonna be totally honest, bro. I lose. I fell asleep.
Is it because you were tired or because the movie was boring?
The movie was boring. It's the human element.
They
It's
don't
the
have
human
it.
element. It just throws you off the page. It's like just make a movie with Godzilla and King Kong busting up the whole world. I'll be happy to watch that, bro. I would be happy. Bring bear monsters in. Let him just destroy the world, bro. The amount of collateral damage in this movie, bro. I'm talking about a good, probably 3.8 billion people died. There's a part where they just destroy Cairo, bro, and the three period. Sorry,
Oh, spoiler alert, bro. But best spoilers.
sorry. There's a part where they destroy some cities, major cities in this movie, and it's like, man, they didn't even do like a call out for evacuation, say that these guys are coming and there's gonna be some next thing, and man, bare people. Like I was actually, it's weird because the human element of what minus one did made you care about those humans when Godzilla came. The human element in the American movies, that's not there. So when you're seeing Tokyo and Japan getting torn apart, you're like, oh man, the people, man, because you felt for them. You know the part in minus one when he should have wifed her, pushed her out of the way, gone. Like you felt that scene because here's a woman who actually feels you. It's love, man, and I that scene just hits so much better. This happens, and you're like, these characters are basic, man. Just give me a 2.5 hour movie where Kong just destroys everything, man. Kill up everybody. Just I'm cool with that. Let Godzilla just roll around the world or something. But like from what I saw yesterday was like, don't get me wrong, they introduced some new laws into it, and it makes you interested in it. But to a point where the human element came, and I was like, good night. And I woke up at the last bit of the movie, bro.
The Warner Brothers one has made like Godzilla a good guy, whereas in the Japan one, he's always been the bad guy, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, he comes to fight monsters here and there as well. But when I say bad guy, he didn't care for the humans. He did his shit, right? And he fought some other monsters and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, we spoke about this, right? Because we always said like Godzilla minus one made us eat our words about the human element. But I just
It
think that
did.
they maybe I think minus one and the Japanese writers just do a much better job of the human element. Whereas in the US one, maybe it's all about the production, the action, the choreographing. Because if you look at the Japanese one, bro, the choreographing was him.
No,
And that's
exactly. And
it.
because it
Big
was a
tune,
homage to the original, which is
and all that, and then explosion, and that's it. But in the US one, my guy's running now, Godzilla's sprinting, Kong's there, they're doing parkour and shit. Like
no,
Godzilla.
bro. It was joke, bro. There is bear of that. There is bear of that. But it was good. It was probably a good watch. A lot of people enjoyed it. I think I have to watch it again to give my honest review on it. But the human element bored me, so that's why I fell asleep. Like my mind just switched off. You know, some movies can keep you engaged, even if it's basic. There's something on that element where it keeps you going. This one made me lose, bro. I just nodded off. They started talking about some signals and all sorts of business, and there was a scene, something happened to Kong. That's why he gets a gauntlet. Good night. That was it for me, bro. Good night. But we had an interesting last minute thing that happened on Friday, and I went to Monday, so I got to see the UK premiere. Excuse me, basic. The UK premiere of Dev Patel's Monkey Man, presented by Dev Patel and Jordan Peele, who's the producer. But Dev Patel produced this movie, wrote this movie, directed this movie, and starred in this movie. Bro, I got nothing but love for this. I think Dev Patel is an amazing actor already. You watch his films, his film catalog is amazing. This was good, bro. This has come to my second place already. The movie was awesome, bro. The guy brought a lot of heart to it. He did it in the midst of COVID happening. He shot, you know, it took, production came on, production came off, COVID happened. He broke his, he tore his shoulder a little bit, broke his fingers, broke his foot. My guy still did it. The action in this is insanely good, bro. People compare, look, he took inspiration from John Wick, but you can see the Bruce Lee martial arts aspects that he took from it as well. Hanuman, the story of Hanuman and the Indian cultural parts of the story was inspired by his granddad who was sitting with us. This was more of a family get
Oh,
together, bro. It was really
amazing.
nice, man. His
Amazing.
dada was there and he goes, this is because you inspired me with those stories and it's been playing on my head on how you implement it into this. And, he talks about Indian social issues, the casting issues, uh, the poverty and how the rich and the poor are. Uh, but the main story is about his mum, bro. The love that a son has for his mother is undeniably on a different level. People are going to compare this movie to a lot of action films. I think in itself, it's something completely different. It's something so creative. And I think that's why because this originally was supposed to come out on streaming, bro, on Netflix.
Mm.
Jordan Peele saw the movie and he said, nah, guy, this is amazing. This needs to be shown on the biggest screen possible. Uh, Bro, smashed it. Good movie. That was a good Monday night, man. I got to see quite a lot of people there. Uh, I met somebody from a program, BBC program called The Outsiders. Outsiders? Uh, she was with Christopher Walken in it. It's a really good comedy. Uh, and just yeah, like it's good vibes, man. You get to see, this South Indian, Indian story put together very well in a really good action. It's a homage to Bollywood movies. It's a homage to martial arts movies, Indonesian martial art movies, Korean martial art movies. You can see all the inspirations that he's taken from it. Uh, I can simply say a mixture of, you know what, The Raid I think is heavily influenced with this. You could blatantly see that Iko was really inspired him in the way he fought and the way he did his angles, camera angles, and stuff like that. Uh, I haven't done well. This will be probably my review that I put out there because I was supposed to do one after, but I know now that I just take it out of the podcast because it's better to save that for the podcast. When I do those 1 minute ones, I don't get to. It's hard to kind of express yourself. Where I
Yeah,
think this,
I agree.
uh, bro, if you get the chance when it's out, go watch it. It's my second favorite movie this year.
Wicked. What was the first
Yeah,
again?
Dune Part Two.
Oh, true. Okay, okay. I'm definitely it's on my list to watch, so I'm looking forward to catching that. So, awesome. I'm glad. Oh man, it seems like you've had a busy week. And he was there as well, right? So I saw
Yeah,
some.
man, he was there. Jordan Peele was there. Jordan Peele, sorry, not Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele was there. He came up, introduced it, and bless him, man. He's got that. He's a comedian, even though he directs all of these crazy movies. Uh, he was like, this is the MF of movies. I saw it and I was like, this has to be shown to the world. Very cool. Excuse me. Ah, and then Dev came up, and he's a love and love. You can see the blood, sweat, and tears that went into this movie, bro. The visual stylistic look of it as well is really good, bro. The colors, the way it pops, he's given this feel to it. He's actually inspired me to. I'm working on an art piece now, which is based on him because it's a character that looks like me up on the big screen, bro, doing all sorts of madness. And I was like, you know what? So basically, I'm doing this piece where it's a replica of the movie poster, but as a comic book cover. So let's see. Yeah, definitely. I'll put that out soon for you guys to see. I'm gonna do more artwork, guys. I want to be able to do fun stuff like that because movies like that inspire you to do little things. You know what I mean? So that was really good. Yeah, bro. That's my week, bro. I don't watch. I haven't watched anything on TV. I need to catch up with Shogun as well. But X-Men's the first one on my list. Okay, Daddy. I know you're tired. Okay,
All
I'll make
right.
you milk. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Awesome, bro. Awesome. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's move on to. I've got some quick MCU news, some quick other news, and then we'll finish off with this week's retro movie review. So for the MCU, Marvel Studios is reportedly no longer developing Eternals 2 and Captain Marvel 3. Now, I don't know if that's been official, but I've been seeing this around a little bit. I know they're trying to make changes and they're trying to go with the quality over quantity because there's been a lot of flops, right? So anyway, if they make that decision, I'm totally cool with it. There's no honestly, with those movies, I think those characters they could just jump in and out and whatnot. And we'll see. But anyway, Sony's Venom, animated Venom. Apparently, I saw Seth Rogan is to write it and produce the R-rated Sony Venom animated series by Sony. So let's see what I mean. So I think Seth, yeah, it should be good. I think that should be good. I mean, Seth Rogen was in both Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, he was a voice anyway, right? But he was
Writer
writer as well. So
writer and producer. Yeah.
yeah, I think look, Sony's been losing with the Spider-Man stuff recently, so maybe the animation's the way forward with them. All right. Moving on to other movie news, just some quick stuff here. They're looking to do Happy Gilmore 2. It's in the works. So
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's awesome. Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, love that dude, love that movie. So that should be funny. It'll be interesting where they take it all these years later. And then new live action films based on Michael's End's classic, fantasy, The Never-Ending Stories are on the way. So I don't know if it's so I think they do some new live action Never-Ending Story stuff.
Really?
Bro. Yeah, that's what I read. That's what I got here. I
Okay.
saw that somewhere. So I don't know if it's a show. I don't know if it's a movie. I don't know, but some Never-Ending Story stuff.
All right, interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see
We'll
what
have
they
to
do with
see.
that.
Yeah, that could be one of the retro movie reviews that we could do on.
Yes, definitely.
Talk about retro movie reviews. Let's move on to that. Let's finish off with that. This week, retro movie reviews, we are going to be talking about Shogun Assassin 1980. Now, I was trying to find it. What is that? Like 20, 40 years ago? Is that 40 years ago?
20, bro. 40. You're talking a whole lot, bro.
40, 44? 40, what are we at? 44 years? Bloody hell. I was looking for a movie to watch and I came across this and I was like, you know what? I haven't seen this in years. It's an adaptation of like Lone Wolf and Cub. Bro, it's fantastic.
1980. It came out in 1980, so yeah, it's 41 years old.
Yeah, bro. I mean, directed by Robert Hudson and then Kenji Misumi. And it's got, I think it's Tomisoburu Bura Wakayama. Anyway, bro, you can see where a lot of movies get their influence from when it comes to these like samurai movies and whatnot. But Kill Bill being one of them. But this is one of
Oh
those
yeah, yeah,
movies where
definitely.
the choreographing was so cool and the action was so cool. It was like it was the ones where like the blood just like anime. It was literally
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just
Yeah,
splurting everywhere. Yeah, yeah,
literally
yeah.
done like an anime. It was so freaking cool, the choreographing. And his character was just, and the dialogue in this movie was awesome. His character was amazing, just being a Shogun assassin for the Shogun. And then the Shogun goes crazy, ends up
Yeah, yeah.
killing his wife. Um, and then he goes on this mission of him and his son, just kind of protecting his son, where the Shogun's sending constant ninjas and whatnot, and he's just taking them down. And I love the little boy narrating the movie was such a I don't know if that was one of those again one of those new things where you got a young kid narrating the movie and the young kid's talking about his father, the young kid's talking about how many heads he's chopped off, how many people he's killed, and he counting the numbers 343, 300.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's fantastic, man. And also, like, I feel like there was another scene which I loved was where his son was captured. And I feel like a lot of these movies, like, be it Equalizer and Taken and whatnot, there's that element of that special forces where they like, where they're blindfolded and they can sense where they're going because they're hearing sort of things, or where they're counting. In Equalizer where he's counting the minutes or the
Yeah, yeah,
seconds.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like they got it from this movie. There was a scene where his father, the son was captured and he was over a well and they were holding him by a rope. And but the samurai discipline and whatnot was different level, man, because he was telling his son and he's already kind of like educated his son that this is our life.
Mm.
And he tells his son, you're gonna go. He basically tells his son, you're gonna go be with your mother now. Basically telling him you're gonna die, right? It's crazy again. Anyway, the son drops the slipper and he's counting the number of seconds it takes for the slipper to hit the water. So then he knows that's how much time he has to kill these dudes and grab the rope, right? I feel like, I mean, again, there's so many movies that came out, but in the 1980s, I feel like this is one of those things that really set the stone of these like assassins and these
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well-trained assassins and whatnot. Because that was a scene like that. Even with his son earlier on in the movie, as a baby. I mean, it's crazy. As a baby, he made his son make the decision. Here's a ball, here's a sword. If you pick the ball, you're literally he basically saying you're gonna be I think it's Haku where they killed it, they sacrificed himself or
Yeah, yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was like, this is a baby, bro. Call it. If you pick the ball, you're gonna join your mother in peace. If you pick the sword, you're gonna join me, but our life's gonna be hell. But you're gonna be a warrior like me. So the sword, the boy obviously calls to the sword. He's a baby, doesn't know. But this is the sort of storytelling that this movie's showing us, and the Japanese shogun samurai kind of way of thinking, man. The
Ways,
warrior
yeah,
way of
that's
thinking is
right.
crazy, bro. It's absolutely amazing and fantastic. And the choreographing was amazing, bro. Just the way the blood does splatter is amazing. When he chops off some dude's head and the blood just goes, it's proper Fist of the North style, man. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
Fist of
yeah.
the North Star, in fact, might have came out after this. So I think it was influenced by that. It's amazing, bro. It's absolutely fantastic, man. And
No,
even
it's a
when
great
the way
movie,
they
bro.
look, the character, the costume designs, but like Big Trouble in Little China, all of them. Obviously, it's all samurai attire and whatnot, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
all that influence, man. I mean, it's all that influence. They look like Big Trouble, the characters from Big Trouble in Little China and all the other movies you see. Um, but man, going back and watching this movie again, it was one of those movies that I did not feel like, do I have to really watch this? Like, or it wasn't a chore. It was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. This is amazing. This is cinema. For me, it felt like cinema history. I don't know if it goes down as one of those movies, but again, the storytelling, the cinematography is something I didn't speak on. The cinematography and the screen captures are beautiful, bro. The sceneries and the
Mm.
angles that they took, like when they're fighting and whatnot, in meadows, in waterfalls, in stuff like that, in the sand at the end, and just capturing that wide shot and just having the sunrise, and even when they freeze at a point of strike, you know what I mean? Like they're capturing art, they're capturing imagery. Like I feel like this movie was ahead of its time, or set the standards at that point, or broke a benchmark or something with all those sort of things. And it influenced so many movies to this day. It was absolutely fantastic, man. I really loved it from all angles. So great movie,
So
man. Shogun.
I haven't seen that in ages, bro, and I feel like that, you know, as you said, that it's influenced so many movies, bro. But as you get the visual style, bro, the look of it, the blood, the way the violence was, but the way it was choreographed, but the decision making he gave to his kid, bro. You know what I mean? Uh, I don't even know how old we was when we watched that movie. Now thinking about it, because I know it's one of Sassa's favorite films.
I know,
Uh,
super violent. I don't know why
Super
he let us
violent.
watch it.
Super violent, but it just showed us how cool cinema was, bro. And, you know, from that side of the world and respecting the culture and, you know, the way of Bushido and being a Ronin and all of that stuff, like that stuff resonates with us so well, bro, because it's just like amazing, bro. Like to this day, I bet that movie was a good watch. Like you really enjoyed it.
Oh, 100%. 100. And his characteristics and his he he came across this as this guy who lost all emotions, right? The
Yeah.
kid is narrating his character. He is the assassin for the Shogun. So he killed hundreds of people. But when he comes home to his wife, he forgets about all of that. So again, love, the love of his wife, the love of his family, where he forgets that he's an assassin for the Shogun. But after his wife dies, he's still with this stern dude, but then it's the love for his son. But
Mm.
he tries not to show that because he's already taught his son, and I think he's already built the discipline and the mind frame that this is the life that we're going to live. But there is the love for
Mm.
his son, the protection of his son, and but he doesn't show that, but you can see it in his actions. Like he's very stern, he's very disciplined. This is the way. That's it. But you can see in his actions that he has to protect his son because his son made that decision in the beginning, and he had his love for his wife. It was even the acting was brilliant. Seriously, a 1980s movie. You might laugh at some of the dialogue, not dialogue, but some of the looks and whatnot. So the acting, I thought, was brilliant. I really have to say, man, it just looked cool, man. I remember Ibby, Young and Dangerous. His
Yeah,
kid.
yeah,
There
yeah.
was some dialogue that they took from that movie in one of their tunes and whatnot. This is one of those movies that where people, you know, hip hop artists and whatnot would take dialogue away and sample it and whatnot. So, oh man, such a cult classic movie, man. I hope it still gets the shine and the credit that it deserves because for me, I feel like this is it's a cinema history movie. I just don't know if experts, you know, feel that way. In my opinion, though, falls into my cinema history greatest of all time movies.
No, no, bro, greatest of all time, 100%, without a doubt. I think it's one of those important movies, bro. Like, you know, it plays a big part in cinema, bro. You know, the fact that animation and movies that we get now are taking that as inspiration, proves it alone to be in cinema history, bro. That's amazing film in itself. I'm I'll put it on my list to watch as well. I know I haven't been able to watch the movies as well, but I do remember them vividly, man. Sasa used to love that movie, and like he used to get scared not to tell dad that we've watched it as well. But even when we were older, when I did watch it in my early, I think when I was 18 or 20, I was like, man, this is insane because then it made me look back at like stuff like Akira and Fist of the North Star and it'd be like, that's where they're getting their inspiration from, which is absolutely amazing, bro.
Yeah,
Great,
I'm
great,
just reading
great,
it.
great.
This movie was banned in the UK, bro, from
Yes,
1983
that's
to
right.
2000. Yes, that's another thing.
That's right.
So that's yeah. So I think that's something we knew about it, which is why it was getting so much back then. We're just hearing, oh, this movie's so violent, it's getting banned and whatnot. So it was released by Vipco videotape label in 1983. Shogun Assassin, extreme violence almost caused it to be banned by Office. Oh, so it's almost caused. Anyway, Vipco played this for publicity in the cover art of the 2000 released on TV. Okay, wait. So I don't know if it actually got banned. It says it almost got banned, but then Vitco used that though as publicity to say this got banned in the 80s, guys. Check this movie out. But I mean, it was very violent. Heads getting chopped off, arms getting chopped off, legs getting chopped off. Like, bro, bare things, man. Bro, it was like Fist of the North Star, chopping a man's head from this way, bro, with a samurai sword. The head just goes, and then the blood goes. That's like way from Fist of the North Star, bro. Like doing that sort of stuff. It's mad, some of the violence, man. It is crazy, but all of that looked freaking cool back then. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I know it won't work in an action movie now, but it looked so cool back then the way they did it. Especially with, like I say, the cinematography of the scenery in the background. It just added that extra element. Like I say, the sunsets with the meadows and the wheats, and you know what I mean? You could say it's like a Western movie as well. That Western
visuals
element.
always look on point, bro. That's why they take inspiration from all the samurai movies and stuff we get now because of that movie. You know what I mean? So
definitely cool, man.
definitely.
Guys. Shogun Assassin, 1980, guys, check it out. If you're into I don't even want to say martial art movies, but if you're into martial art movies, if you're into the whole samurai thing, if you're watching Shogun now, if you've seen Kill Bill and all those type of movies, you need to go watch this. Like, this is where they get the inspiration from. Cool. All right. Well, on that note, that is the end of the show. Anything else, Kibbs, that you wanted to cover before we end it?
No, listen, guys, go to our social media pages, support the cause in Gaza, Palestine at the moment, please. Do what you can. Oh, excuse me. Quite a lot of you have donated, so I'm proud of you guys, man. Thank you so much. Man, I'm losing my breath here, man. I'm ill as well, so it's not been great fasting at the same time, but
I didn't even
always
mention
humbling.
I got my Punisher statue. I'm gonna do a opening or
Do it, do
review
it.
or whatnot later on. So guys, check that out on the channel. I'll put the thing up. But the final one that was on my list, man. So I'm super looking forward to going opening it, and I'll do a little video on it.
No, that's cool. But yeah, guys, follow us, and subscribe, show us some love, man. Follow. Like, subscribe, but check us out on social media pages. Listen, guys, if you can't watch the videos, go on Amazon and Amazon Music, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Type in the Brothers Geek Out podcast. You can hear it. We've got weekly episodes. We do the odd Geek Out sessions with guests. I need to get some new guests on I think, plan it for next month. I know fasting month's been hard. My God, I almost forgot. I did an interview yesterday with the cast of Shake Shack and the director Adam. Oh my God, bro, I completely forgot to say.
You didn't even tell me.
Bro, it's been so busy this week, and it's only Thursday. So we got the email last week, Friday. They set it up for Wednesday. It was a 10-minute interview. So Shake Shack, guys, it's a comedy that's based in 1991 about these two friends that kind of like entrepreneurs and little hustlers work at a Shake Shack. They rent it out and then they start selling like drinks and hot dogs, and it's a coming of age story. A kid trying to find his place. He's a teenager. He's making money. His parents are giving him jokes. Giving him grief, but they're jokes as well in this. So I got to speak to Adam, Connor, and Mika, who are like the main people of the story. Adam, the director and writer of the story, but I just got the footage now. We're just waiting for dates from Paramount to give it to us, and then we'll start pushing it out there. But no, listen, absolutely amazing experience to watch the movie, and like I love those movies because it reminds me of like Superbad and stuff like that, but it's based in 1991, so you go back a bit, you travel back in time, and some of these guys now they're in their 20s, so I'm like, what was it like for you to experience 1991? It's another era with great music, and pop culture references are all over it, bro. Was really good, but we even spoke about like when actors just vibe off each other really well. And you're like, how do you build that relationship? And like, how do you not start busting up at each other? Like, how do you, keep to the script? And the director said, like, everything is scripted. So I was like, there's no improv. And they were like, that's the testament of their acting. And I'm like, that's amazing, bro. Like, these two kids, they've never known each other. They they meet for 2 weeks and then they look like the best of friends on the big screen. And I know acting does play that part, but yeah, that's coming out soon. All right, Daddy Duties. I'm sorry, Bubble. Do you want to see something? All right, G-Man,
All right.
sign us out, bro.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, thanks for, as always, watching, liking, show some love, subscribe, and all that stuff. And we will catch you on the next episode next week. All right. We out. Peace.